All right, guys. Oh, no. Solar thought he was going to get the hatchery up, but he gets blocked. And he builds 3 drones. Wait a second. Was he trying to go 14 hatchery and still got blocked, guys? Did I catch that correctly? Oh. You go 15. If you want to make sure you don't get blocked, you have to go Extractor Trick to 15, hatchery, and then Overlord. I think. And then you can do another Extractor Trick to build 1 more drone after that to stop your lava from stagnating too much. So I think that's the way to do it. It's Extractor Trick to 15, send a drone down, build the hatchery, then do an Overlord, then another Extractor Trick to squeeze out another drone. Because you'll think, well, you can't just do another Extractor Trick, but you are. Because when you build the hatchery, it'll take you from 15 out of 14 back down to 14 out of 14, allowing you to do another single Extractor Trick. So that's the way why you can do the second one. All right, gas is there. We've got Gate Cybercore, second gas coming. Now this is going to be the finals, guys. Solar did make it through over Hero, which is a big win. It was a nail-biter, very close victory. And a best of 3. Can Solar go toe-to-toe with MaxPax, though? What I see is usually players cannot hold a candle to MaxPax. And his weakness seems to be Serral's late game. But also Serral just, I think, plays smarter than him in the early game, gets advantages pretty much every single game they play, and that just hasn't changed over the years, where Serral's run circles around MaxPax and Pigfest recently when they played, and just looked so much better in terms of how well-rounded he was. So I think MaxPax really, you know, kind of just massively underdog against Serral, but against every other Zerg, massive favorite, because they're not late-game masters, and they don't seem to understand MaxPax habits as well as Serral does in terms of planning these little details to get those little advantages for themselves. Now, Solar's going to go Creep Tumor first here, kind of old school, injects at this space. Queen and 3 Zerglings should be able to deflect. Don't want to chase too far. Good pullback with the Zerglings, perfectly timed. Clem did mention in PVT that Hero's late game's a bit better than MaxPax's. Talked to Serral as well, of course. So I was telling you guys how Serral said that basically MaxPax is good in the mid game, but never really got good with Tempests. Ooh, cancel on the Shade. Gets a few Zerglings. Don't want to lose the Adept, though. Good pullback timing there for MaxPax. 3 Zerglings down. So yeah, we were talking about how in the Void Ray meta, MaxPax should have become a god of late game, but he never really did, and Serral said it was a wasted opportunity for MaxPax. So guys like Trap and Zaun became masters of Tempest play, Storm, late game, Mothership, whereas MaxPax A-moved Carrier Arc on most of his games. So he played a simpler late game, and whilst he was still very effective in that meta, he didn't really learn the more technical poking and prodding Tempest game, which is the thing that Zergs just do not have an answer to. First time I hear Pig playing music during a cast, unless it's SC2 music. Well, if you're watching on YouTube, I'll have removed the audio you're listening to live on stream, and you guys will hear the Wings of Liberty or Brood War soundtrack, most likely. But for those on stream, yeah, just like, hey, man, I always remove the Twitch audio anyway and put in the special music. So got all those audio tracks separated for easy editing. Damn, this is good damage, dude. MaxPax is so nifty with this Adept Oracle control. Look at the way he circles in. Gets another drone there. We'll lose one of those Adepts. It's a lot of mining time and 3 drones. Adept does shade down here towards the 30s. Committing even more with it. Can he get a drone with it? Looks like MaxPax will get 1 drone. No, he changed his targets. Unfortunate. But the Oracles are both alive. Forge and Twilight go down at 445. Third Nexus is up. Has Trap retired? I miss Trap so much. Well, Trap came back, didn't he? But I haven't seen him in the last few weeks. So I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe you guys saw an announcement? Oracle coming in, turning on the laser. 1 Adept did go down. Meanwhile, double Oracle dive, 3 more drones. Beautiful play. Even with the Giga Chad Spore, if you don't have any queens there, the Oracles can dive like that. Chat tells us apparently Trap is waiting on EWC news before he decides to continue playing. Played for a few months, got back in pretty good form. He doesn't want to keep committing. And uh-oh, MaxPax gets jump scared. Queen's in the grass. It's a Queen Walk Zergling attack. These queens take forever to get across this map, though. What a wild attack this is for Solar, guys. Dude, Solar is playing a crazy man style. I don't think this is going to work out too well for him. Look at that backup pylon. Even if the front one goes down, the backup pylon coming in, so it gets depowered and then immediately gets repowered. And then the Oracles are going to try and fight the Queens. MaxPax pulling back the weak Oracle so nicely. And that's going to be a shutdown. 3 Queens go down for just 1 Oracle, which means, of course, with energy recharge, Solar's efforts are not going to find the mark. Cheeky attempt there, but attacking off that 3rd base towards this 3rd, I think a big problem. I think he was hoping MaxPax would take the front 3rd and he could try to walk across here, but I think it would have been probably much nicer to walk from this 3rd base. Just would have had the creep a bit further out and a bit easier to get across this map. All right, guys, going into game 2, Solar in the bottom left side. This time not going to be getting blocked. He's going for 16 hatchery here. Still doing 13 Overlord as Solar. Interesting that he hasn't updated his opening. The 15 Overlord is the superior opening. I remember thinking, oh, I don't think I can be bothered optimizing this. Learning a new opening just doesn't sound worth it. Like, why would I bother for, like, a few extra minerals? I did it, and within 3 games, it just felt easier, more natural, and like a better opening than the 13 Overlord we've been doing forever. So, just, yeah, it's kind of shocking that Solar and basically every Korean Zerg that's not Shin just hasn't updated their builds. But I do think there's unfortunately a bit of a gap and maybe a language barrier between the foreign scene and the Korean scene. Solar speaks perfect English, by the way, like very good English, very highly educated, comes from a, you know, highly educated background. Now, this is a Cybercore double gas build. Oh, this is the fast Oracle build. MaxPax opened up a series against Cyril with this and absolutely wrecked him in Pigfest. This build order is cool. Very cool build order. This is going to get him really fast Oracles across the map. I didn't think he built the Cybercore in the main normally, though. It's kind of funny. I guess he doesn't want to reveal it. Oh, because remember, Cyril didn't realize, but he's going to see the Nexus. Solar should realize what's up. Solar's like, wait a second, that Nexus is late. Where's the Cybercore? He should realize something's up. He's going to be like, what the hell is this? There we go, guys. Adept starts building. Stargate's already begun at 2 minutes and 3 seconds. A very quick Stargate. Now, obviously, your Nexus is later. Your probe production's a bit more delayed as well with this build. See how it goes, though. Ling speed's coming in for Solar. It's all about getting up 4 Queens incredibly early, or getting maybe a Spore Crawler and 3 Queens. It's not that much earlier than you normally need it. See how well Solar adapts, as I really think this comes down to how well the Zerg adapts to what's happening. Do they realize what's going on? And you can see Solar's kind of like, all right, wait for the Adept to leave. Let's try to get in for the Scout, but the Adept is right there, and the Lings are going to sneak on in. Nice move. Beautiful move for Solar. Beautiful move. And he gets in the main, sees that the Oracle is getting chrono boosted already at 3 minutes. I think that's got to tell you as Solar. You build a 315 Spore Crawler, 310 maybe in your main base. Should be good, but he's actually just going to go 4 Queen. He's going to do the Polish Gambit. No Spore Crawlers to start. Good way to do it. As long as you have 2 Queens ready. Try to run some drones, maybe do a Spore Trick or 2. You can defend this with minimal damage. See, he's got 2 Queens in that natural. He's going to see that Oracle coming. You don't want to get lured too far out of your mineral line. That's the mistake Solar's made sometimes against MaxPax in the past. Another Queen there on the ramp. Very well defended. And the Spore finishes at the perfect timing. MaxPax finds nada. Loses 12 hit points. Beautiful play here. Now, Solar needs to be careful to keep building drones, Overlords, because he's had to rush his anti-air, and there's still a very quick 3rd. So remember, with this build, it is a single Adept into incredibly fast 3 Oracle and 3rd Nexus opening. 3rd Nexus makes up for the fact that you delayed your initial expansion, and the Oracles are just so all over your opponent, forcing things that it really does make things very difficult. Gets himself a Lava, a Drone, and a Spore Cancel. Another Oracle runs in on the natural. Finds that that's not ready just yet. 2 more drones go down. Yes, the Oracle takes some damage, slowing down Solar's build. Solar needs to build Overlords. He's in an unfamiliar situation right now. Easy to make macro mistakes when you played a weird opening like this. Building the Overlord on time, though. Good job remembering for him. There is an Oracle at home. Surprised he didn't shade that Adept, but I guess he just knows the Oracles can defend everything. Second gas coming in. Lair starts up. Like to go straight Hydra. Queen's very well positioned. 6 Queens, 10 Zerglings on the map. And the drone production is going to just catapult Solar forward. Does need to build more Overlords, though, as the Oracle continues to defend the 3rd. Forge comes in behind all of this. Where is the Twilight? It's in the wall off. Oh, 3 more drones just went down. Does lose an Oracle, though. I think Solar can absorb that punch and be okay with it. If you're killing Oracles, it's not too bad. Units lost tab, you can see 170 resources in favor of MaxPax. Link has now started. I think Solar's just playing Hydraling this game by the looks of it. He has recently been showing a bit of an inclination towards playing more Lurker play as well, so perhaps opening Hydraling, getting a relatively quick infestation and just trying to go from there towards the Lurker late game. +1 attacks on the way as well. Hydra Den does go down at 530, 535. He's got to defend that 4th hatchery. Will the Oracles choose to go for it? For now, the answer is not just yet. Still could try. It's pretty low on hit points right now, but no, MaxPax not going to risk it. Oh, there's no queens in the main. That's a problem. Leaving no queen in the main. Very dark style. Ling's on the 3rd for Solar. Bit of sloppy here. Looks like he's not watching at all. Solar clicking his Zerglings to their doom. Quite a few Lings going down. 20 Zerglings have died this game now, and it's a bit of a throwaway. Gives up some of his map control, and MaxPax immediately going to use that to counterattack. Groove Spines is on the way. Nice defensive upgrade for the Hydras. Gives them a +1 range. Lings are going across the map. It's already got an Adept and a Battery on the 3rd. MaxPax should be able to cancel this 4th, I believe, and that could just put him in a position to win the game. Queen's coming forward. Transfuse is needed. Oh my gosh, those Queens trying to march forward on their own. A big mistake for Solar. Loses 1. Hydra takes damage as well. Lings come in from behind. Great double transfuse to save the Hydra, but the stasis traps are going to be a nuisance. You can see he spreads them out. Finally does set off the other stasis trap as well. Good play by Solar. Now the Hydra does fall, but Blink Micro for MaxPax keeps all of his Stalkers alive. That's always going to favor the Protoss in these small fights. Need a critical mass of Hydras and Lings to deal with this. MaxPax wisely pulls away. Says, if you chase into me, you're in trouble. Solar chasing like a mad dog. Not a good idea. You do not want to be moving out there. Groove's Spines finished. Muscular Augments on the way. Psystorm starts up for MaxPax as he goes towards 8 gateways. He's got the Stalkers outside the base. 18 Stalkers, 2 Adepts, 2 Oracles, 17 Hydras, and 32 Zerglings. I don't know, man. I don't know right now. It feels kind of nasty for Solar. If he eats a bad stasis trap or something like that, it could go really wrong. He's getting ready for the flank. He finds an Oracle. He finds 2. The stasis trap right there. It's going to save him, though. Oh, is it, though? Is it? Maybe, maybe not. Stasis trap gets only 2 Hydras and a few Zerglings. Traps a bunch of these Hydras with the Ling move. Solar gets so many of these Stalkers, and Storm is not quite ready. That was an excellent engagement. He may only be on 64 drones, though. That's the problem, is he's a bit all in. There are 23 Hydras, 7 more buildings. It's going to be 30 Hydras. It needs to be mass Zergling from here, I think, to shield. MaxPax snipes a Hydra, but Lings are into his main. It's only a couple, though. Not a big deal, as the cannon does help defend. Storm! Oh, holy storm of storm. Solar needs to pull back. He needs to get out of here right now. He needs to put it back in his pants. He's still going hard, but I don't know if this is the right call with his Hydras eating that much storm damage. He does have a lot more units coming in. He is starting to pick these off. Energy recharge not going to be ready for a while. Another Ling on the natural, slowly just hitting the gateway. Nothing in the main left over. I think a Zealot warped in to deal with those Lings. The Archon goes down. The Stalkers go down. Solar, he says, red hit point Hydras be damned. I know you don't have any storm left. And he pushes in decisively when a cowardly Protoss player would have backed away. Pig's a coward. But he is not yellow-bellied. These are blue-bellied Hydras. They are strong, proud Hydras fighting for the Swarm. And Solar, dude, I want to watch that surround again one more time. It was such a good flank. It was such a good flank on the retreating army. The way he looped these Hydras and Lings around. So close to running into the stasis trap multiple times, but getting both Oracles. And then I think maybe MaxPax should have blinked up and gone that way, but you can see the Lings were expecting it. And look at the way he attacks with some Lings, but the other Lings are purposely setting up a wraparound. I think the Hydras maybe could have even stutter stepped a little bit further forward, but that was just such a good start there. And that's exactly what you're going to do when your opponent just sits on the edge of creep like this, being annoying. Same thing if it's Cyclone Hellion or something like that. You just defend and then you slip part of your army behind. If your opponent sits in such an exposed position for so long, they do open themselves up to moves like this. Great play by Solar. All right, guys, Solar in the bottom left here, going to be getting that 16 hatchery up this time. He was prepared to go take the 3rd. And interestingly, MaxPax goes for a gate scout. Wow. That's odd. I thought he would play no scout here, but I think he's like, yeah, Solar's already won a game. Let's not die to something silly. Wants to make sure he sees everything that's coming his way in this one. Yeah, we want to see more of those Hydra rushes, but if I had to predict what's going to happen is MaxPax might open... I don't know if this is a good map for Glaive Adepts. Maybe not this map. Maybe he'll wait for the next map. But I think we'll see Glaive Adept after Oracle. Either this map or the next. So if Solar is just trying to rush Hydraling with no Roach War in multiple games, he could absolutely get punished by a 4 or even 6 gate Glaive Adept. Nice drone move. Just pulls a drone momentarily, gets a few hits on the probe. Stops MaxPax from harassing. 21-second gas into 22-second pylon. You can see here he's got one probe queued, builds a second pylon. I'd love to see him build the Stargate in the back, but I think he'll just build it in the front. A lot of players, basically, Protoss players like to put their tech in very easy to scout locations. I've been enjoying Hero and a few others starting to build it in the back. So the Overlord can't just like walk up, see a Stargate here building an Oracle and get a free scout. Now, there's no pillar on this map, guys. So if this is a Stalker coming out, you actually can't survive staying here. So notice the Overlord's going to pull back over to the left side. Keep an eye on those gold minerals. And a Stargate goes down in the main. Chronoing the probes nice and early. No chrono on the Adept whatsoever. 3 workers pulled off gas here for Solar, playing just a very mineral-focused style, which is the norm right now. It's all about getting enough drones out to get even or ahead of Protoss in the first 5 minutes of the game. Enough Queens, Spores, and Zerglings to defend them. And this early game, I mean, the little details are so important in this early game. Sorry, guys. Some of the fauna on this... Or the fauna? Sorry, the flora is actually so beautiful. I love this map. It's got some real beautiful little things on it. Some little mushroomy tree stumps there as well. Depth Shade does go forward. Ling's, of course, on top of it, so he's got to back off. And Void Ray first. MaxPax changing it up. Now, Void Ray is very good for setting you up for a 4-gate Glaive Adept because it's hard for your opponent to confirm. And on this map, what I would actually be worried about when I see that Void Ray as Solar is 2 Stargate Tempest. So, the more modern version of 2-star Tempest is you actually take a 3rd Nexus, and then you go 3rd and 4th gas, and then build the Stargate. Whereas the old version used to be a bit more obvious, where if Zerg just didn't see a Protoss 3rd base by 4 minutes, they're like, it's either Glaive Adepts or 2-star, you know, like you're doing one or the other. Whereas there's a version now, you see the normal 3rd timing, and then they still do 2 Stargate. And you're like, ooh, it's like very tricky, right? Very hard to spot. No sign of anything fancy just yet. 1 Oracle after the Void Ray. Void Ray just cleaned up a Zergling as well. Now, normally you don't want any Spores against this, but he does build 1 in the natural. Interesting. Spore in the natural, wow. Oracle's heading over towards the 3rd base. Void Ray looking for Overlords, not finding any. Good defense by Solar. Spore goes up in the main as well. Now, there is a 2nd gateway into a Twilight. Looks just like a Blink opening to me, though. I don't think that's Glaives. Drone gets picked off. Should have built a Spore Crawler there. Gonna go into the main. He's attacking his own Overlord. Solar does correct that. Starts hitting the Oracle. Oh, and look at that. Kills the drone with the Void Ray. Should Spore Trick that, though. Nicely done. Void Ray takes a bit of damage, but the Oracle comes back in, and Solar's struggling, man. And this is the thing. Okay, the Oracle does go down, which is good. Good move, good move, good move. He also gets a probe with his Lings, which is also a good move. I was going to say, you don't understand how is Solar making these little mistakes until you've played MaxPax. Unless you play Hero or MaxPax, every other Protoss player, their Oracle harassment is trivial to deal with. Like, if you look at Classics Oracle harass, he kills at most 3 drones in an early game usually. He just doesn't have the same multitasking and finesse with the multitasking, the different angles. The way MaxPax hits the natural, goes back to the 3rd base, goes back to the natural, Void Ray hits from the other side. Look at that! Grabs a creep tumor, grabs a drone. He's in more places, and he's not overcommitting. He's just probing into different angles, seeing if there's anything you've left undefended. And Solar is used to doing what you normally get away with against 95% of Protoss players until you play those top 2 in the world, which is, oh, Oracle's here, pull all my Queens here. And the problem is, MaxPax will pull you into the open with 1 unit, and then the moment you pull away from that mineral line, he'll punish you on the other side. 6 Queens, 2 Spores, 3rd Spore building, Roach Speed's on the way. Now, Roach speed normally doesn't mesh well with a build in the long term. It's just bad unless you're going to do some sort of fancy Roach Hydra all-in. But I think what Solar's planning here is a 5-gas Roach Ravager all-in sharp. He's probably going to walk Queens across the map as well. I wouldn't be surprised. Look at that. Void Ray gets an Overlord at 6 kills. And units lost tabs actually pretty even because we have seen an Oracle die 300 minerals, 2 Adepts, 250 minerals. Or 200 minerals and 50 gas, I should say. Very expensive units. Robo Bay going down for MaxPax. Disruptor could help a lot against this big Roach push. There we go. Overlord speed, yeah. He's going to use that to bring all the Queens as his anti-air against the Void Ray Oracle. And it's just a big old Roach Max, guys. One of the most basic builds out there. He's even going to actually do the lift. I actually don't think there's a reason to do the German taxi. I think it's better to just fly Overlords across and just drop creep on the ground, personally. But, I mean, it's not bad. This way, at least, you ensure you get to the front. He's bringing a bunch more Overlords as well to drop creep with, which is good. Stalker's in the middle with a stasis trap. MaxPax is on 6 gates, I believe. Yeah, it's 6 gateways. He's building an Immortal. He's got a cannon and a battery in the 3rd. No static in the natural. And look at the way the Roach Ravagerling's trying to sneak around. So Solar's purposely hiding these units so he can bring them in from behind. But remember these stasis traps? He's got to remember the stasis traps. And the Oracle sees it. The Oracle sees it. MaxPax correcting the mistake that he made in the previous game. He sees it and he's quickly running home. The army coming in. The Nexus gets cancelled. The Stalkers are going to have to blink across the gap. 2 Stalkers get surrounded nonetheless. A good start for Solar. Is it enough though? The stasis traps actually slowing down his advance significantly here. The Ling's running in a bit in front of the army. But the Immortal's going to get hammered. Oracle gets refilled on energy. Queens are a little slow to the party. But there we go. They're going to unload in a moment. I think it's correct to just keep pushing here as Solar. And look at that. The Overlord's going to drop some creep, I would hope. He's going to drop some creep in a moment. Oh, the Overlord's not dropping creep, which means the Queens can't transfuse. Cannon's going to finish there. Roach Ravager Zergling will take care of it. Void Ray gets pushed to the left side where it will be able to slowly work on the rally point of units. Queens are there as well. Colossus starting to do some damage. The Stalkers microing back to the top right. Nice Biles landing across the front. The Stalker count fighting pretty darn well back here. Biles will take out the stasis traps. Well done by Solar. The Queens with their transfusers skirmishing with that Colossus. It's got a shield battery, so it's holding its own, of course. But the Roach Ravager Zergling needs to get rid of those Stalkers, and they're bleeding out right now. It feels like this fight's going pretty well for MaxPax. The Colossus in the south started stepping away. It's these Stalkers in the top right getting too much value. I get that the supply looks good for Solar, but remember, it's Roach Ravager supply, and these Stalkers with +1 are getting insane value in the top left side of the map. Solar right now, he is trying to break through, and that 3rd is not being broken. He needs to continue the rally. The Stalkers blink forward. A sign of confidence for MaxPax. Is it too confident? Is he overconfident? I'm not quite sure. 2 Colossus on the high ground. One of them getting killed by the Roaches almost. It barely survives. Battery overcharge, or shield energy. Shield battery gets energy overcharged, I should say, and does heal that Colossus up. Stalker Probe trying to defend this 3rd base. Feels like the Colossus coming to the low ground might be able to do this now. The Roachling goes after it. Probes go back to mine. Biles landing on the Stalkers. But that is an excellent hold for MaxPax. And I do think the creep was a bit too slow to spread there for Solar. But I think it all came down to the Oracle seeing the flank, which has put him in a position. Otherwise, if he got more Stalkers caught on the way across or the way home, MaxPax would be dead for sure. I mean, look at how narrow this hold has been. Even now, he's barely hanging on. But I think the numbers are just a bit too weak. It's a trickle of Zerg, and one really needs more than a trickle. One needs an absolute avalanche. That being said, Solar has a follow-up. He's got a Hive, and he's got an Evo Chamber. I think Baneling Nest is melee. Oh, no. Oh, he's playing melee Baneling Nest. Worst tech you could go for in this situation, I think. You guys tell me. I mean, maybe you disagree with me, but I feel like he has to just keep playing Roaches and just make Vipers. You just make 1 or 2 Vipers, and you just play pure Roach Ravager with a few Abducts on the big important Robo units, and you can win this, potentially. It's going to be hard, but I think going into Ling Bane this late off this economy, to me, seems like a game-losing play. I don't know. I mean, it's ideally, maybe he's thinking, well, I can kill the Colossus with Abducts, and then it's just Stalkers, and Lings beat Stalkers, which is valid. It's just, what if Storm comes out? It's going to get invalidated by Storm, and a lot of the Lings are going to die before the Colossus go down. Feels a little bit awkward to me, but we'll see what Solar can make of it. Trying to go double Evo, Bane Nest, single Viper, Adrenal Glands. Big Zealot warping in the main. MaxPax is not going to give him the time, guys. Oh, damn. What's the time, Mr. Zerg, says MaxPax. And gets the big Zealot warping in the main. 5 drones do fall. Did kill MaxPax High Energy Sentry, which was nice. MaxPax going to have to run these Zealots away. The main army didn't commit at the same time. He kind of backs away. He's a little afraid to go too deep. He does want to pick off that creep. We've got to be careful with these Colossus around this cliff area. Remember, Colossus can walk up and down cliffs, so they're going to derp out a little bit on these areas where you can't move there, but you can move there. Fourth base is up for MaxPax. He's got +3 on the way. He's just got to round out his style with the Templar Archives. If he gets Storm and Immortal, he'll be good. We've got one Viper out gathering energy, second one building, but Solar's only on 62 workers, guys. He's on a very, very bad Zerg economy right now. Not something that can really go toe-to-toe with the 75 probe Protoss, who gets the Viper! Oh, Solar's Viper gets sniped. Zealots in the north as well, and MaxPax holds on against the big Roach Ravager all in, and he just finishes it off with a nice twist. Oh my gosh, Biles actually just took out one of MaxPax's Colossus. Easy there, mate. Colossus and a sentry went down. Stalker's trying to hold up front. Dude, the Roach Ravager, as I said, I don't know, I feel like Roach Ravager was always going to be the army. But he does get rid of the Immortal Colossus. Roach is defending there. Zealots in the top. Solar's on 49 probes. Even chasing him with such a big army, we can rewind to see exactly what he spotted as he GG'd. I think he's just like, look, I'm not going to kill you on your side of the map, so it is what it is. Because, like, yes, this feels good killing those robo units. I think he's just like, it's not enough. He knows it's not enough. GG, well played. All right, guys. Solar in the top left side of the map going up against MaxPax, who sent a nicely timed probe here. Solar's going to see that and immediately go to the third base. He says, okie doke, you want to block my base? No worries, mate. I would love to see, like I said, Glaive Adepts coming in. Then again, Solar did play Roaches that last game. But I think Glaive Adepts, you're up a game. Good chance Solar tries to rush Hydras here. They've just got Hydras and Lings. There's always a chance to find the damage. Probe being a nuisance, Solar does like to chase it. Solar and Rogue are part of the pig school of thought. Attack it with a drone. He's not even going back to mining though. Oh, he's using it to build the spawning pool. Okay, I see. I like to attack it and then go back to mining here. Yeah, very nice move. Rogue is really lazy. He doesn't even micro back to mining. He just leaves a drone chasing the probe in circles while the probe still denies mining time in the mineral patches. It's crazy. I think Rogue has got to be the lowest effort Zerg. Actually, no, Dark's lowest effort. He just ignores the probe half the games. Sometimes he counter micros it perfectly, and other games he just lets it deny a mineral patch for 30 seconds, and you're like, what? That's crazy. You're letting him do so much damage. Rogue's the second laziest, I think. You have these like try-hard European GM guys who've literally put right-click on a rapid-fire button on their keyboard, so rather than spamming click here, they can just hold a button down on their keyboard and it's spamming like 1,000 clicks a second. You're like, okay, guys, you might be going too far. Like, as much as I make fun of sometimes the Koreans for being a bit low effort in the way they do things and sometimes don't bother optimizing something, they play a bit more instinctive. Sometimes I get the Europeans who I'm like, okay, you guys have gone too far. You get your rapid fire button on your friggin' keyboard. That's insane. Probe's pulling back. Adept gets chronoed. Are we going double chrono Adept? Oh, old school. All right. I mean, it makes sense. You block the base. You made him take the natural. This is a good way to play for MaxPax. He's going to put the pressure on Solar. Solar, only 4 Zerglings. He does have them all at the third base. He does go for the early creep tumor in the main. But I think you want to build a few more Lings here to deal with this. He's building 2 more so far. Let's see the way the Adept always tries to go between the bases. If you chase him too much with the Zerglings, he'll find some pickoffs. Yeah, good pullbacks by Solar. Actually, it's gather on rapid fire, not right click pig. Thank you very much. There's sort of, hey, my favorite #1 tryhard EU pro gamer, Age of Empires 4 player as well, trying to get good at that game as well. Really appreciate the dedication you've had. Nice damage there, MaxPax. Gets a drone. Hope you're doing well, sort of. Thanks for dropping by, dude. The Bergman. Depth shading backwards. We've got 1 Oracle out. Second one starts. He went second gate wall off, so pretty standard play for MaxPax. Not playing too greedy. And he's going to take that front third base. So just very straight up play. Solar going to play straight up in this game, or is he going to try something tricky? It's a good map. I mean, it's a good candidate to do another Roach Ravager Queen all-in. It's just most players don't want to do that 2 games in a row. Oracle's in range. Oh, he's got to be careful. I mean, the Adepts are being very annoying. But, oh, the Evo Chamber block. Oh, the Evo Chamber block. That was slick from Solar. Very nicely done. Almost kills the Oracle. Gets rid of 2 Adepts for just 2 drones. I'd say that's a really good trade for Solar. Very well played. All right, Queen's hitting the Oracle. Evo, nice. And another Spore Trick. Doesn't have the minerals for it, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'm sure he would have built another Evo. Oh! Oracle comes back immediately back into the Evo chamber. The bomb shelter of drones, guys. If you grow up as a drone in an early games EVP, it's a lot like being in London during the Blitz. It's constantly, man. You're constantly getting down into the bomb shelter, hiding in the subways. Oracle gets 2 more drones. Just not quick enough. Sorry, guys. Had some doubled up audio there. Just had to tap out for a second. Thank you for catching that Twitch chat. My bad. I was playing dumb voice lines between the games of Solar saying, disruptors are disgusting. And thank you for the Zerg Cabal. And forgot to turn the audio off for those. Alright, what do we got? 4 more gateways, blink +1. About as standard as it comes. MaxPax playing the same game over and over again. On repeat with slight variations. He doesn't feel like he needs to do anything else. Pressure's on the Zerg to show why it's bad. To show why being so predictable is not going to work out. Another drone goes down from the backdoor assault. Double Adept coming in. Nice move. Oh. The drones just stand there, so we're losing mining time and we're not protecting the drones. Oh man, where are the Lings? Lings are running in on the other side. They do kill 5 probes, which is pretty nice. We didn't lose 6 drones ourselves. It would have been much nicer. But with the 4th hatchery on the way, Hydra Den does start. It's not the fastest Hydra Den though, so I think you're forced to play 4-base Hydras. And that is why the Evo Chamber goes down. There's no chance for an early Hydraling aggression. So I think Solar's probably going to stop droning, start massing Hydraling. Because you know these Stalkers are coming. As I said, MaxPax normally hits you at about just after 6 minutes with 6 Stalkers. In this case, it's going to be 8 Stalkers at about 6:45. Still pretty fearsome with how much aggression there's been in this game. Remember, both sides, you know, we've seen 4 Adepts go down, 5 Probes, 12 Drones, 12 Zerglings, 1 Overlord. You've got to start making those units. And actually, he's playing Roach Speed, which I'm very surprised by. I was not expecting Roach Speed. I thought it was going to be pure Hydra Zergling. Maybe make a few Ravagers just to help you against the first wave. Roaches really quite terrible against these early Stalker Oracle pressures. Roaches just don't have the range, the movement speed, or the firepower to scare back the Stalkers. Easy pickings for very well microed Stalkers, and as you can see, low numbers of Zerglings don't cut the mustard either. Hydras are going to be necessary to stabilize this situation. The amount of damage coming out of MaxPax's army is monumental. He is destroying... Oh, absolutely destroying this. Oh, the unit's lost tab in that top left. Rather bad for the Zerg. And you can see it's just a few Queens and Roaches left over. If you've taken a little bit of damage early on, and then you try to go Roaches, it's always death to this Stalker pressure. Even though it wasn't even a big commitment. It's always death. I've been here many times myself. I was just saying before the game started how I played MaxPax a few weeks ago. And it was, I think it might have even been on this map, but essentially I felt I had a really good clean early game, took almost no drone losses. I lost like 1 drone and Overlord a few Lings. And I was like, dude, I'm feeling great. And he just killed me. Actually, it was on Frostline, wasn't it? It was Frostline. Because I went 70 drones and tried to play Roach Hydra, and he just kind of A-moved me with the Stalker. I'm not even A-moved, you know, this sort of blink micro. And I remember thinking, I had a good start. The hell? And I just realized, like, you can't go 5 hatcheries and 70 drones against this pressure. You have to stop at 60 or 66 drones and start massing units unless you have a really good opening. And ideally, you build either just mass Zerglings or Hydra Zergling. Roaches can do it if you've cut workers early enough, but ideally you also have some Ravagers because Corrosive Biles can kind of zone out the Stalkers, and the range of the Ravagers can help as well. But MaxPax is just too tight, and we've seen pretty much everyone that's not Serral struggle to defend this early game clean enough, because this is just a transitionary pressure, but so many players keep dying to this, and that's kind of the big skill check right now for Zerg players. You need to have a near-perfect early game. You've got to be clean, or MaxPax will just get an easy victory with 6 Gate Blink. GG, well played.